Guys, welcome officially to the start of the 2023 CRN Family Conference, right? Come on. We did it, right? I mean, we're here. We're here. A lot of things were against us, and we were shut down for quite a bit. But man, fellowship is so incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's what it's all about. So I'm going to go ahead and get my slides going. You guys going to have them up here? Awesome. Okay. So when I was thinking about giving this speech, I felt like it was important to kind of give a little bit of history about where we've been and what our personal journey looked like. And I had said this before. In a lot of ways, I still feel like a newly diagnosed family, right? Because we got this little taste of what fellowship could be in our tribe and our community in 2019, and then everything got shut down, which was real tough, right? Real tough. We needed it and we wanted it and we couldn't have it, right? And so we fought in so many different ways. Zoom became a thing. And we made it work, right? We did a virtual conference, and it was incredible, right? That was a lot of fun. But these are the connections that we are really looking forward. So first and foremost, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to our industry partners and sponsors. Without them, we couldn't do half the things that we want to do. So just for a moment, I just want to give a round of applause to everyone in here that's a sponsor. We truly get to work with some incredible people, people that are very closely connected to the rare disease space, and not just in the arena that they work, but in the lives of their own personal lives as well. And it's a blessing to be able to work hand in hand with people that really understand the vision. You know, these are not sponsors that tell me, you got to do it like this if you want this money. That's not how it works at all. This is a partnership where we work hand in hand, and one that I'm thankful to have. So thank you guys again. So the tribe, you can see on there. So I put them all on. There's one that's on the way that I didn't put up yet, but it's my wife's belly. So I'm the president of the CRN. I also work as the VP of Development. I am father to Eleanor, Finn, and Mochi. Mochi's the sheepadoodle. We actually got her as a comfort dog. And so every night when Elle's got to get her growth hormone shot, this sweet little pup walks up and just sits down and is just there. So the tribe extends. And then I can't forget my lovely wife, Shirley, who is the tie that binds. She really is. So it's the fire and ice kind of thing. So I guess we can say we good cop, bad cop it sometimes. I don't know. So this is a really, really cool thing. I want everybody to do, if you've got a cell phone on you, I want you guys to get out your cell phones. And on the screens here, there's a QR code. And you just put the camera on. I mean, you guys know how to do this. Most of you guys can. What am I talking about? So when you get that up, let's get it up on there. And what we're going to do is a really cool kind of interactive slideshow here where you guys can actually answer some questions here, okay? And let's see. I don't have anybody in the participants right now. Ask the first question, okay. All right, so here's a little quiz. What anniversary is the CRN celebrating this year? I'm sorry? So if you guys need internet, I believe it's going to be under, is it guest or conference, guys? Is that the one that's close by? I think it's conference, and the password to that is all lowercase CRN23. So, of course, technical difficulties, so whatever you guys got. Is anybody actually in and answering right now? I got 65 people on right now. We've got a few more. So, $79. Oh, we're getting there. 83. Huh? Oh, look at that. Look at everybody on the, that's awesome. Is it not connecting for you? Yeah, I just went backwards on it, so I'm just making sure we're all on, so. Now we're rolling. Okay, we'll say 99 might be the number. Okay. So, first question, what anniversary is the CRN celebrating this year? So you guys can answer 10, 15, 20, or 25. Oh, it's under the poll setting, I guess? Yeah? All right, now it is. It wasn't before. All right, so it looks like we got 78% are saying the 20-year anniversary. That's correct. It's our 20-year anniversary. So that's an incredible big round of applause, guys. 20 years of doing this. A little confetti. Man, this thing is awesome. Okay, so here's some questions for you guys. Okay, so is this the first time attending an in-person CRN family conference? Look at that yes number rising. Wow. And the numbers of people signing in just keep going up, right? So out of 110 people, 34% said yes. That's incredible, right? I mean, that's incredible for, you know, a disease state that has, everybody quiet down, please. Please. So that's really impactful, right? With a disease state that has roughly 500 people in the U.S. that are afflicted and 2,000 worldwide, that's a heck of a number. And it's an honor to have this touch point to be able to be here for those new families, right? So what country did you travel from to get here? Look at that. I guess we could say Dallas, Texas is probably the size of a country. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? All right, so for those located in the United States, where are you guys from in the U.S.? Oh, Michigan's taking it. Tim, you can only vote once. One vote, people. One vote. But guys, for a sec, look at that. I mean, isn't that incredible? GA, Ohio. So obviously, we're we're from all over, right? So we're from all over. Guys, try to quiet down so I can get through this, okay? We gotta move. That's the hardest part of these conferences because you want to talk all the time, right? New people, new friends. But again, another impactful slide. We're from all over. We're from all over. The journey to diagnosis was found on average, and we've got some numbers there, 6 months or earlier. You guys can read this. So you guys can see those numbers there, right? So again, pretty impactful, right? And we'll hear it a lot, and we'll go into our story as well about when we actually got our diagnosis. But you know, wherever that diagnosis was in your life personally, or your child's life, or someone you care about, I think the through line is that once that diagnosis happened, everything started to get better, and that's going to be a through line as well. We like to think that once you get this touch point, it's also going to get a lot better as well. So Eleanor is my daughter, and we were in the 3-year category for diagnosis. And you're going to hear it a lot about all the wonderful outcomes that happen when you get an early diagnosis. And I remember as a new parent coming to CRN in Philadelphia, and that was a big gut punch to me. I didn't know what the next day would look like, right? We were floundering and just trying to find our why, find our tribe. But, you know, Ella was very little, and she just wasn't growing. And she had major swallowing intolerances, cyclical vomiting that would rival The Exorcist, 30 to 50 times a day. Her first surgery that she ever had wasn't anything for cystinosis. It was because her teeth were rotting out of her mouth because of all the acid that she would pass through from throwing up. It was tough times, really dark, tough times there. She threw up so much that we had to get an NG tube placed. And, you know, and this is a tough one for me because that drug on for about 8 months. And, you know, denial is not just a river in Africa, right? It makes you do really dumb things, you know, and we didn't have a diagnosis. We didn't know what was going on, and I didn't think that I wanted to really believe that she was as sick as she was. So we kept that in because I didn't want to put a G-tube in. I thought that my daughter didn't need that, and that wasn't going to be necessary. But it was absolutely necessary, and we upgraded, and we got a G-tube first and then to a GJ tube. And look at that smile, right? We're eating now. We've got some good nutrition on board. And then we came to our very first CRN conference, and this was actually in Philadelphia. And it made such an impact. I mean, it was incredibly impactful. So that conference made us feel like for that first time that we had some direction. And you know, the new parents, I spoke about this before yesterday, but if you can imagine, right? This is the way I always thought about it: is that we were traversing this horrific storm. There were no lights anywhere, only by the lightning, right? And what the CRN really gave us, and what the diagnosis gave us, was a little pinprick of light on the horizon. And it turned on our navigation system, right? The batteries turned back on in the ship, and all of a sudden, the compass pointed north, and the lighthouse was there, right? This didn't mean that the journey was going to get any easier, but as we traversed, right, the power system started to come on a little bit more and more, and the lights came on next, and we realized that we actually weren't on that ship by ourselves. There were a lot of people there with us that were ready to help steer, the first mate, all the people that were there, right? And that's, you know, that's CRN, that's our care team, that's my mom, my mother-in-law, these incredible people that give so much of themselves to help us get us where we are today. the journey gets easier, but you got to go through the journey. And I remember saying to you guys as well that, the fastest way to get through the storm is where? It's not around, it's not running from it, it's turning headlong into it, right into the waves, and getting right through it. And we're here, hand in hand, to help you get through that storm and to guide you into it so that we can get through it and see what? The sun, right? You can't appreciate the beautiful sunny days without going through the darkness. The fire was lit. I was hooked. I sought out more advocacy opportunities, and the CRN was there the absolute entire way. These pictures here are actually from the first time I went down in 2020, right before everything got shut down. It's actually like a week before. And we were in Washington, D.C., and like somebody coughed. It was like that time where somebody coughed, and everybody was like, what the fuck? What was that? What was that, right? But I made it back. And, this is me with a little bit longer hair and a beard. I had that for a while. So what did I do? I just continued to say yes to every opportunity, right? I did. I'm not saying that everybody else in here has to do that, but I've found that when I say yes, good things kind of happen, right? And this is what it kind of looks like. So these are some pictures actually from Global Genes right over here. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, Global Genes right there. And then we were down for Rare Disease Day on Capitol Hill this year. And so that's quite a full circle kind of deal there, right? So this time I'm going down as president and VP of development with a mentor. And I had went nothing more than 3 years before that, 4 years before that, as a bright-eyed new father that just wanted an opportunity to understand what the landscape of rare disease looked like on Capitol Hill, what that policy looked like. And what I found out was exactly how blessed we are to be exactly where we are. And what is that? It's perspective. Perspective gives you so much. It opens that lens up. In the U.S., out of all rare diseases, only 5% have an approved therapeutic, right? Approved by the FDA. And we have 4. We have 4 of them. We have a lentiviral therapy that's, in phase 2-3 clinical trials right now, and safety and efficacy right now. I left there feeling very, very blessed to be where we were right now because I saw the landscape and how bleak it is for some people. And I went back 3.5 years later, and there were people that I was expecting to see that weren't there because they passed on, because they had no cure. But in that time, they did everything that they could to advocate for the people that were coming after them. It was a powerful moment. So look at the community that I found, right? So all these wonderful people, the board. I had the pleasure of going to a Rare Mindset Forum where I was able to link up with incredible advocates in all walks of rare disease with the understanding, the idea that the group is stronger than the individual. And truly it is. I've got some of our European friends over here on the left. Incredible trip. We went to Leuven, Belgium for CNE, Christy and I, and that was absolutely incredible as well because that showed me the landscape of what it looks like in the entire world. And if anybody was at the scientific symposium yesterday, right, we saw some really stark and really difficult to hear information about what rare disease looks like in some of the undeveloped countries, Africa to be specific there. Again, we're very blessed. So this is a community that I hope to be a part of forever. And I think the big takeaway from the CRN is that 95% of our team, I think it's 100%, but we do pay a couple people. But 95% of our team is all volunteer, that have other jobs and do other things outside of this. And I think that's important. Our board is not a fly-by-night thing. This is not a stepping stone, for you to get in and do something. You can if you want to, but these are people that are vested and want to be here and want to be here for life. It's an incredible group that we have, and I feel so blessed to see this new generation of younger mothers and fathers coming up as advocates now, because that's what it takes, right? If you're standing still, you're not moving. We're stagnant, and we know that life doesn't stand still. And so to all the board members, anybody is on the board right now, will you stand up? Anybody on the board right now? Now, some of them are not going to be here because they're running things right now. Past board members, please, hold on. Yes, let's do that for sure. Board members, stay standing up, though, because I want past board members to stand up as well. So anybody that's served on the board in the past. Hey, Ina. Ohio. So CRN's vision is the acceleration and discovery of a cure, right? But also the development of improved treatments and the enhancement of quality of life. So while we are so excited about what's on the horizon and what that looks like, you know, I always say this, is that we have to do the small things to get there, right? Cystinosis is a marathon, right? We live and die by a little timer that goes off every hour, every 4 hours, sometimes every 6 hours, right? Right? There's all these little things that go in, the smoothie pushes, right? All the different things that go in for the care. And that's just Eleanor. And it's pretty incredible to have the commonality of this rare disease, but to see how different everybody's presentation actually is, you know? And that's where our incredible, you know, physicians, our support staff, and all those people do so well, right? I should have put a question in there that says, who was the person that diagnosed you, right? Because that's always a really fun question to ask, because I love seeing those kinds of numbers. But oftentimes what we find out is it's somebody that said something like, I don't know what this is, comma, but I'll find out. But I know it's not right, so I'm going to elevate this to something else, right? So we went from living minute to minute, and we grew into this multifaceted, complex management of cystinosis, and the minutes became days, the days became weeks, and slowly we began putting together the years. And I think this is kind of impactful for us, but this is the same dress that Elle wore, and we would send this around to family. And you can see her in 2018, and then last year in 2022. And just how much she's thriving, just getting the basic things that she needs now. So once that diagnosis happened, right, and I said this before to the new parents, that once the diagnosis happens, right, we're still traversing these crazy waters, but the trend gets better and better. There's going to be some up and down, some ebb and flow in there. And there's going to be times where you're like, man, nothing's working, and then everything works, right? And then it doesn't work, but we always move our way up, right? It's a daily struggle, cystinosis, and we knew and we saw and we felt that not all rainbows led to pots of gold, but you know, where this rainbow ends is definitely my pot of gold. This is my why. This is why I do it. These are my people, right? The journey has been so worth it. What a journey it's been, right? So I'm gonna play something real quick for you guys. It's about 3 minutes. You guys check it out. But this is a montage of all the conferences. That always gets me. Okay, that always gets me. That I've seen that probably 10 times now, but what an incredible journey it's been, right? 20 years and we're just getting started. We got so much more to do. So many more incredible memories to make together. That just hits so close. So what are you most excited to experience? So somebody hit something to go to a new slide, a new deck. There we go, we're back. All right, so guys, we got the poll going again. So what are you most excited to experience? I don't have an 8, 9, or 10. I felt like 7 was enough because I couldn't fit it on the screen anymore, but just trying to drink it all in, connection with old friends, research updates. So not an exhaustive list, but a lot of stuff to experience here. All these things that are listed, we're going to be able to experience. So if any of those emotions that maybe you guys are feeling might be inspired, excited, all those things, we got incredible programming coming up, some incredible stuff to come up. So for Friday today, just want to do kind of a high-level overview of what we've got coming, but Bill Gall is going to be doing his talk on Cystinosis 101, definitely something to hang around for. Everything here. Paul Grimm, he's going to be doing his kidney transplantation talk. Paul's just an incredible guy. Gives so much of himself. Our physician and pediatric nephrologist in Cincinnati wanted to share all of her information with Dr. Grimm, and he was ready, willing, and able, and so we flew out to California to see him in clinic there. And that's the other incredible thing that not everyone can say experiences, but we were blessed to have a team in Cincinnati that had zero ego and really, really wanted just to see the patients, not the diagnosis, succeed, right? They wanted the patients to thrive. And Dr. Grimm came up with a plan that really changed the course for Elle in many ways. Stephanie Sherqui is going to be doing her talk on stem cell updates. Really, really incredible stuff happening there. We've got this great Speak Up, Speak Out performance that's going to be done here, I think at 11:45. I'll get up and say something about that as well. But as someone who was in a lifetime ago a Shakespearean theater actor, it's really incredible what happens when art meets life, right? And it's an incredible way to express those things that maybe we keep hidden, that we don't want to talk about. It's a way for us to really open ourselves up. So I encourage everyone to be there for that as well. Really, really cool scavenger hunt that's going to be going down. Megan Morrell is running that, and so it's going to be in Centennial Park today. And then the agenda continued, these panel sessions, guys. So check out the panel sessions. The first one is for newly diagnosed families. There's a middle childhood to teen, and then there's an adults as well. And then there's a second breakout that will have a second panel session for newly diagnosed. So this is a big one, right? So a physician Q&A. We've got, for the newly diagnosed, there's a transplant dialysis, and then there's a track for adults living with cystinosis. And then there's also a parents of adults with cystinosis breakout as well. So you guys have the agenda there. Check that out, right? Remember what I said, right? The 80-20 principle works a lot here, too. Just like I turned into a blubbering mess, there might be times where that happens for you as well, and you just need to step away from a moment. That is absolutely appreciated and honored, and it's okay, right? Just come back, right? Just come back, okay? There's this incredible medical panel. I should have put stars against everything, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what was going on at the table. So there's pens and there's note cards there. What we want you guys to do, if there's any questions, especially for the new parents, right? Write those questions down. This is like the unicorn. This doesn't happen, right? When you walk into a room and you've got all the incredible, brilliant minds all around the world that are all here together just to answer questions for you. This was one of the most impactful things for me as a new father. Shirley will agree as well. It was just incredible to be able to be in a community where there was no stupid question, right? The only dumb question is the one that you don't ask, especially here. No one's going to look at you like, what are you doing, right? Because we were all there. We all were there at one point in time, picking beads off of, the ceiling and trying to figure out what I can mix with this to get it down and what works and what doesn't work. And you're going to find that, there's a medical answer, but then there's like a CRN answer too, right? And there's like ways to kind of make this thing work, right? It gets it, right? So ask those questions. The panels, all these sessions that we have are incredible, right? These breakout sessions are wonderful, but never forget that some of the most impactful stuff are the conversations that have right here at the tables with new families. I'm getting the time, so I'm going to have to get wrapping up here soon, but I'm very close. So you guys might have heard about this at Scientific Symposium, but there's the Qualify study that's going on. If you haven't already, the registration desk is right outside. Find information. So this CRN-funded study, check it out, okay, the Qualify study. It's really, really incredible. It focuses on health-related quality of life and aims to learn more about challenges, the management of the disease, and the needs of patients living with cystinosis, right? An incredible undertaking and one that will pay it forward many, many years to come. Don't forget about our raffle. We've got game systems that are down in the teen breakout room right now. If I can get a Switch for $5, that's a pretty good take home. It's not bad at all. But they're there and available. And you'll have plenty of questions. Come find us during the conference and ask away. Look for the board member or they ask me. And like I just said it before, there are 0 stupid questions and only the ones that you don't ask. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for giving me this platform. It's going to be a great weekend. I am blessed to be here. And guys, let's go. Let's go.